In this video, you're going to hear 5 different ways that you can support someone that's either struggling with an addiction, substance abuse, or is currently in recovery. Dealing with substance abuse or an addiction is actually more common than you may think. According to the Surgeon General, 1 in 7 Americans will face a substance abuse disorder. So learning these different ways on how to be a sober ally could truly make a difference in someone's life. So without any further ado, my name is Emmanuel with Sandstone Care, and here are the 5 different ways that you can be a sober ally. 1. Start by educating yourself. Over the recent years, we have become more aware that addiction is something anyone can struggle with, regardless of race, gender, or economic status. Because of that, there are more and more people that are gaining an understanding of what addiction is. Now, despite this growing knowledge, there are still a lot of people who aren't aware of what addiction is and what challenges and struggles come with addiction. So with this first tip, in order to support those around you who are trying to become sober or are currently in the recovery process, make some time to do some research on your own. Find out what addiction really means. Learn the signs and symptoms of a relapse. Doing this will allow you to better help the person that you have in mind, and it will help you gauge where they currently are in the recovery process. 2. Ask them directly how you can support them. There are tons of different ways that you can support those that are currently in recovery. But in order to make sure you're supporting the person you care about in the way that they need, it is essential that you communicate with them. If you haven't already, ask them what would they find most helpful. Find out what their triggers are. Having these open conversations will allow them to explain if places make them feel uncomfortable or if certain conversations make them feel more vulnerable. Overall, the more you communicate, the stronger a sober ally you will be. 3. Avoid glorifying their substance use. It is not uncommon when you're around your friends or even family to start hearing or sharing these stories about the time we got messed up, that time that you were drinking and that you're using this substance to have fun. The truth is, even though hearing and sharing these stories may seem innocent to you, it could be triggering for someone that's trying to become sober. Worst case, it could be triggering for someone that doesn't even know they may need help. So if you want to be a great sober ally for the person you have in mind, when you start to hear these conversations come up, do your best to steer the conversation towards something more neutral or something supportive of being sober. Saying something like, I had a lot of fun and I didn't even drink, or I didn't even need to use this substance in order to have fun. Speaking up and saying things like this can truly help someone during the recovery process. The 4th way that you could be a sober ally is to plan activities that aren't centered around drug or alcohol use. A lot of times when groups of friends come together, or there's a family gathering, or maybe you're going to an event, when these activities happen, it's normally centered around alcohol. If you feel comfortable in these settings, that's okay. But if your friend or family member is starting to feel triggered or feel out of place, then consider planning get-togethers that don't include drinking or using drugs. Add or substitute activities like going to a coffee shop or cafe instead of going to the bar, or even try taking them out bowling or having a game night. You can still have fun activities without the use of substances, and being a great sober ally, you'll be able to show the person that you care about exactly that. Now, the 5th and final tip I have for you on being a sober ally is be patient. The road to recovery is long, difficult, and it could be a scary journey. The person you're trying to be a sober ally for may not know exactly what they need. In a sense, they're trying to still figure out their journey through this just as much as you're trying to figure out how to help them recover and feel better. So continue to do your best to be patient. I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but implementing these 5 different ways that you've heard on how to be a sober ally, over time, the person that you're helping will be able to better communicate what they're experiencing and what they're going through. This is a huge, helpful step in the recovery process. It's awesome you want to be there for that person to truly help. So continue to be patient. You got this. Now, I hope that after hearing these 5 tips, you feel like you'll be a better help and support for the person you care about that's trying to be sober or recover from an addiction. If you've watched all the way up to this point and you still feel like, hey, I've tried being a sober ally already, and I believe that's actually time to send them resources. No worries at all. Sandstone Care is here to help with that process. Here at Sandstone, we actually offer treatment options for teens and young adults that are struggling with addiction, substance abuse, or mental health challenges. If you would like, you can get into contact with a Sandstone Care member right now by live chatting them at sandstonecare.com or by using the contact number down below. By using this contact, you will be talking with a live, real person that wants to get to know you and your situation, and they will take as much time that's needed to make sure you get the help that you're looking for. Being a sober ally isn't easy, but there are resources out there that can help. All right, that's all from me. If you have any other questions that you would like Sandstone Care to answer, just make sure to leave them in the comment section down below and we will respond as soon as possible. I hope this video was a helpful resource for you. Here's to being a great sober ally. Have a good one.